Randy, first of all, I can't imagine that THQ didn't want you in their UFC game. Can you talk about why you did choose the EA Sports agreement over the THQ game?
Well, I didn't actually recently sign. I signed a year and a half ago with EA. And so when I came back to the UFC, their game was in development, and that was obviously a negotiating point coming back to the UFC after the contract issues that we had. And they wanted me in the game, but I'd already signed an exclusive deal with EA, and we explored whether there was a way to work that out with EA, and it just it didn't make sense for EA to do that. So I ended up staying with the exclusive contract with EA and being a part of this game and not being a part of the UFC's game. So it's just the way it worked out. The timing is everything, and the EA thing came when I was on the outs with the UFC, and we signed the deal. And I've been actually waiting for this to kind of come around and be able to see the game and get involved and finally get the game rolling. And obviously now they signed Fedor. I mean, it's just become a huge deal. I don't know why I would expect it would be any different with EA, but it's going to be a very cool game.
Have you gotten to see the game at all? Some of the prototypes?
I haven't gotten to see any of the game, and I haven't really seen the UFC's game either. I've seen little clips of some of the commercial stuff, and I mean, it looks good. The bar's already been set pretty high, and we'll see how it comes out.
So the running joke's going to be obviously that this will be probably your only chance to fight Randy Couture versus Fedor Emelianenko. Is it a bittersweet thought to think, oh, this may be it?
I don't know how bitter it is. I mean, I've been pretty realistic. I came back to the UFC because it didn't look like there was any way that fight was ever going to happen, and there was a small window here where it looked like maybe it'll come back on and he could sign with the UFC. It could happen, but it went the way it went, and I wasn't surprised with the stumbling block of the co-promotion and all that stuff. So, it is what it is. I'm still a fighter. There's still a lot of other people out there that are interested in fighting, that are interesting fights, and that'll be with the UFC, and I'll focus on that.
Right. Would you, your personal opinion, do you think it's a little bit of a shame that the #1 video game electronic art company is not going to work with the UFC, which has a plethora of some of the world's best fighters?
Well, the landscape in this whole thing changes all the time. It's changed in the year and a half since I signed with EA. It's changed again, and anything could happen. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen right now, but I mean, anything could happen down the road, and something could be worked out. We'll see.
In the game, is there anything in particular you'd like EA to make sure they get right with your character?
With my character, I'm not too worried about. I mean, I will do motion capture. It'll definitely look and act and move and be like me. I think hopefully, the character will capture kind of the cerebral approach that's taken for the sport and trying to prepare and make game plans and things that fit my opponents. That's something that interests me, and I hope that they capture that piece of our sport as well as my character.